proprietor of Bwembya's Market down in Quincy, Florida, the historic district. Welcome to the live. We have with us today Cedrita Demus, who is a certified yoga instructor. And you all have the privilege of meeting her and seeing her face so that you can see her face to face, because I really want y'all to get into it. Get into Seed Wellness because she is excellent at what she does. And I just wanted to take a moment to speak with her about Seed Wellness and your experience with yoga.
Okay. Thank you for having me. Let's see, we've been doing this collaboration for
About 6 months.
And I've enjoyed it thoroughly. Get to meet new people, get to introduce people to yoga. We practice beginner style of yoga in the classes. I think our first one was the Valentine's Day, the partners yoga, which was really fun.
Yes.
That was my first time creating the sequence for partners, and I thought it was a very intimate and eye-opening experience. At the end, we sat and the couples held hands and just kind of looked into each other's eyes, and I personally found that to be very powerful. So that was one of the things that we've done. But yeah, Kena has given me this opportunity to utilize her space to teach beginners yoga, something that I've been doing for over a decade now. And I think over a decade I've become pretty solid at it. I have...
You know that you've become solid at it.
Facts. Yes. I know that I have become pretty solid at it. You know, my style has changed over the years. I've incorporated things that I've learned from different mindfulness practices, and it just continues to grow and continues to blossom. I am, as she stated, the owner and lead instructor of Seed Wellness. We are a wellness company that works with individuals for yoga and mindfulness practices. So we do breathing practices with people. We have group classes that we work with other companies to host, also host classes through Seed Wellness. And we also have courses. There are 2 courses that I currently offer. A beginner's course, in which you have the opportunity to work with me weekly, twice a week, very intimate space, up to no more than 12 people. It's online, so no matter where you are, you can participate in the course. And really, we just break down the fundamentals of yoga. I walk you through the poses step by step, make sure you have the proper modifications. And those are the same things that you're gonna get in whatever class that you take as well. I make sure that I tier the poses. Regardless of the pose, there is a pose that you can find yourself in no matter what level you are. So often I hear, oh, I can't practice yoga, I'm not flexible. And that's okay. You don't have to be flexible to practice yoga, to begin practicing yoga, or to continue to practice yoga, because it's not about flexibility. It's really about a journey. It's a process. And the reason, let me backtrack. What brought me to yoga, I actually started taking my first yoga class when I was in Hawaii on student exchange, and I was spending a lot of time at the gym, started lifting weights, and really I was just trying to find something to do, right? Trying to find a place to be, trying to find like my thing. And then I happened on this yoga class, and it was a small group. I think no more than like 5 of us came to class at a time. But it was really nice because the instructor was able to assist us and give us modifications that maybe would have been overlooked if we were in a larger class. And so I actually find the joy and the beauty in having smaller groups. Not only is it a more intimate space, I've also found that when people are not with a large group, they tend to be more open to ask questions, or really just tend to be more open to exploring their body. You know, they'll take that chance and maybe try something that they wouldn't have tried if there were more people, because they don't want to embarrass themselves. I've also found that when it's a smaller group, people, on the flip side of that, people are also more comfortable not doing the most. right? And so if I say, hey, if this pose doesn't work for you, don't do it. And in smaller spaces, people will be like, okay, and they'll sit down. And I like that, right? So my purpose as a yoga instructor really is to help guide people to find what works for their body. So if we're ever in a class, if you come to a Sea Wellness class, or if you come to class here in Quincy, I'm not going to say, hey, we're doing headstands and you have to do a headstand.
Oh, no.
No. Because that's impractical. That's impractical, and that's a lot to ask of a person.
Yes.
And so I'll give you the steps to get into the headstand, and you stop wherever you feel comfortable.
Okay. And what types of yoga do you practice?
So I practice vinyasa. That's my favorite. So my practice consists of vinyasa, restorative, and like a mix of vinyasa and qigong. So that's like my personal practice.
To break that down for people who may not understand what yoga is, or might be one intimidated or under the misunderstanding that it somehow implicates their religious beliefs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So my personal practice consists of those styles. The styles that I teach, and I'll break them down as I go through. The styles that I teach, vinyasa, which is a flow yoga. So it's a little more up pace. And the idea of vinyasa is to link one breath to one movement. So it's inhale, mountain pose, exhale, forward fold. You don't start off at that pace, but eventually you gradually grow to a quicker pace. Restorative.
So if I were to understand what you said correctly, it's really about breath and making sure that you are breathing with your movement.
Yes, it's the mind, the breath movement connection, also mind body breath movement connection. Restorative yoga is a more meditative yoga. That's where you're gonna be able to really get into more flexibility because it's seated. And the way that I teach it is like restorative yin style, and so we do I encourage people to have supports under them, so blocks or bolsters. So if you're online and you come to class, right, if you're at home and you don't have yoga blocks, I'll say, grab a pillow from your couch. And ideally, you relax into a position for an extended time period. And that time period could be 30 seconds. That time period can be up to 5 minutes. Obviously, if you first come to a restorative class, I'm not going to say, hey, we're going to hold like wide leg forward fold for 10 minutes, because that's impractical.
Whatever that is, wide leg forward fold. Okay, because I'm like, okay, speak that language. Go ahead.
So it's basically when you're seated on the floor, legs are wide, and you're folded.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the position before you get into like a center split, essentially.
Okay.
So that's how you. So restorative really just stretches those muscles. If you do a lot of high impact activity, restorative is really good. Because again, if you're lifting weights, any of you out there that lift weights or do those type of activities, you also know that your muscles need to stretch. And if they don't stretch, they'll become constricted. And if they become constricted, then you have limited range of motion. Limited range of motion will also eventually begin to limit the effectiveness of the weightlifting.
So would that also, restorative yoga, would that be good for, probably good for everybody, but for maybe older individuals who are kind of not moving a lot, or what?
So for the older population, restorative can be good if sitting on the floor is comfortable. However, for people who have limited mobility or getting up and down off the floor is difficult, I would suggest chair yoga, which also another style of yoga that I teach. Very soft chair yoga. Again, it depends on the group. So anybody can participate in chair yoga. Anybody can participate in restorative. Vinyasa, anybody can participate if that is your mobility level. Right? I would not suggest somebody who has various injuries to come to a vinyasa class because of the pace and because of the rigor and the different alignment that you have to be in. It can be difficult, which could cause more strain than necessarily stretch.
So they need to pick the class according to their ability.
Yes. Yes. Chair yoga is really fun. I personally really enjoy chair yoga. I started practicing it a few years back, actually. And I've taught it a few times in town, in Tallahassee, had the opportunity to teach it. And it's really, you get a good stretch and you also get a good muscle engagement without having to overdo it. So as we said, for those who are older, or it's also really good if you're pregnant and maybe you're in the later stages of pregnancy and a vinyasa class just may be too much. You can take a chair yoga class because you're still going to go through a lot of those traditional poses, but you have that good support of the chair.
Okay.
Which is super beneficial.
Okay, so we're learning some things. Now, chair yoga, that might be fun for the next one then. Yeah, because the beginners can do that.
Yeah. Any level.
Any level.
Yeah, you can be advanced and make chair yoga work for you too.
Okay. Okay. So tell the people where to find you.
So you can find me online or on Instagram at Seed Wellness. That's going to be CEED wellness.com. So everything related to Seed Wellness is Seed Wellness. So if you see Seed Wellness, then you know, with a C, not with an S, then you know that it's me, Cedrita Demus.
So go ahead and RSVP and be a part of the in-person class. But if you can't be a part of the in-person class, go to her website, seedwellness.com, and sign up for her online classes.
Yes.
She knows what she's talking about.
And the course information is there as well if you're interested in one of those courses, the beginner's courses or the more intermediate course. Intermediate course is going to be for the people who already have an established yoga base but kind of want to go deeper. So we'll be exploring those deeper poses, those more advanced poses like headstand or crow or things like that. And I know you heard me say earlier, don't be intimidated for coming to the in-person class because it's a good mix of everything. We do some seated, we do some standing, and I really try to tailor it to the crowd that's here. So,
and it allows you to socialize, meet some people. If you come to Bwembya's Market, you're surrounded by art, the vibes are good, and we're all different levels. So come and enjoy. You're looking for a community. We are making a community here.
So this is a great space. And I know we're pretty great people. So.
Yes, I'm fantastic. I don't know. You're fantastic.
Thank you.
So okay. Thank you.
We're fantastic. And we want to see you, the other fantastic people here with us.
So we can tell you how fantastic you are. Come. Bye.
We'd love to see you.